Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video. But I got a lot of questions on how I do my makeup and how I learned how to do my makeup, and I figured since I started learning how to do my makeup on YouTube, I would start a channel to help out people who were curious like myself and make a couple videos for you guys. So I'm just gonna do my everyday routine. I'll walk you through it and show you how I look from the day-to-day basis, pretty much. So what I do is I start out with a clean face. Ignore my hair, I don't even know what it's doing right now. And these are just like my products that I have laying around in front of me every day that I reach for. So I'm gonna start with the Benefit Professional Primer. Then the next step that I take is I do my foundation, and I use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I'm shade 102 Shell Beige. And this foundation is great. It lasts all day. I just wore it to two weddings. And I wasn't looking greasy at all by the end of the night. So I just take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I take my wet sponge. And I just blend it out until I have the coverage I desire. And the great thing about this foundation too is it's inexpensive. And it's so lightweight that you can't even tell you're wearing foundation when it's on. Two of the most important places people always forget to do foundation is underneath their jaw and down their neck if they need to, and their ears. So I always just take what's left on my sponge and just pat it on my ears and just kind of smear it underneath my jaw. Next, what I use is concealer. You can use any concealer you'd like. Again, guys, these are just the products that I like most. So I use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I am in the shade Fair Neutral. And I just put a little bit under my eyes just to help conceal a little bit more. And again, take the same sponge and I blend it out. Next, I'm going to set my face, and I use the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Naturally Neutral. And I just take the powder puff that comes in it, and I tap off any of the extra powder because it kind of gets everywhere. I know this looks crazy, but I promise in the end it will look a lot better. So I let that sit on my face for a little bit. And then I just take a big powder brush. This is the Morphe E41. And I just dust off any extra powder. Now, I wasn't blessed with eyebrows like the rest of my family was. So what I do is I use the Maybelline Total Temptations Brow Definer, and I use the shade 305 Soft Brown. And just to get the product warmed up a little bit, I twist it out And I draw a little bit onto the back of my hand just to warm it up. That way it glides on easier. Now this takes a lot of concentration for me. So what I do is I start at the front of the brow and I just trace the little bit of hair that I do have. Top and bottom. I always start on the bottom. Okay, and I always shape it first and then I go in and I fill it in. And then just blend it out. Make sure it looks somewhat natural looking. Because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you can tell that that's a drawn on eyebrow. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We have brows. So my next step is always to set my brows in place, make sure that they don't move throughout the day, that they stay looking the same all throughout. So I use just any clear brow gel. And right now my favorite is the 24-Hour Brow Setter by Benefit. Obviously it's clear, you can get, I think they have it in shades too, but I just lightly run it through, keep the hairs in place. Just something quick. It's, like I said, it doesn't add anything to your brows, it just keeps them in place. Ignore my hair. It's just doing its own thing right now still. Next step in my routine is I always do a little bit of contouring. So I use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It is my pride and joy and very old. I'm not gonna lie. So I take a Morphe E8 brush. I'm gonna take the shade C. It has seen better days. Take this darker shade, tap, 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 tap off excess. And what you wanna do is you wanna suck in your cheeks and go right underneath, just to give the effect that your face is gonna look more lifted and just be better defined, the shape of your face. And you're just gonna wanna blend until you can't blend anymore. And I like to blend in little circular motions. So I always get my cheekbones, I get my forehead, and I connect them very lightly right here. Next, to blend it out a little better, I always take a little bit of bronzer. I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it's just a light bronzer because I am very fair-skinned. And I use the Morphe R2 brush. Looks like this. And I just swirl it in, tap it off. And just blend this out. So I always start here and I blend it up here and I loop it around and blend a little bit under my chin. And then I blend a little bit onto my forehead. We're almost done. Like I said, this is just a very natural, everyday look that I wear. Let's take this off my hand before I forget. Alright, next I'm just going to set my face because I do have a lot of powder. And I want it looking as natural as possible. So any setting spray will work. But after I spray, I just go through with my damp sponge and I pat it into my face. Make sure everything really melts together and blends in, and this is really going to help the longevity of your makeup throughout the day. Okay? Then before that dries, before it dries completely, I like to apply my highlighter. So this is the Morphe High Impact Highlighter in the Stardust shade. And let me tell you, it is beautiful. So I take the Morphe M510, swish it in, tap it off. And I just blend that right on the highest point of my cheekbones. And it just, oh, is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And it just makes your face pop. And I always put some on the tip of my nose, down the bridge. I'm gonna wipe off my lips real quick. And I put it on the Cupid's bow. And any extra I put on the chin, above the forehead. Okay, like so. And the last step that I take is I put on my mascara. That way, when I put on my setting spray, it doesn't transfer to my skin. That way it's just the last thing to do. We're good to go. So I always start by curling my lashes. And I'm using, right now, my favorite mascara, the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara in Blackest Black. So what I do is I start at the bottom and I just wiggle my way up, and I kind of give my brush a little I kind of like rotate it onto my finger. That way it really helps lift the lashes and separate all of the lashes. And this happens every time. Kind of blink to it as I do it. Everybody has that ugly mascara face. I don't care what anybody says, we all have one. And what most people don't know about me is when it comes to my mascara, I can only do my left eye with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed. Alright, you guys, I'm just gonna take my hair down. And this is the finished look. And you can always feel free to add or take out any steps that you don't want. You can add any colors, any eyeshadow, any lipstick. Normally I'll put on just some chapstick because we live in Wisconsin and things get chapped very easily. But I hope you guys enjoy. Keep watching for my next video. Be sure to hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I hope you guys enjoy my videos because there will be a lot more. Love you.